Okay, our board second vice president, Becky Ruff, will introduce our guest speaker. Becky.
Okay, I'm hoping all of you, or most of you, know who Tiffany is. Tiffany, raise your hand. Because, of course, I didn't bring my glasses, so this may be nice and short. Tiffany Sheppard. She was admitted to the State Bar of Texas, November 2010. She is involved in a multiple array of organizations. I'm going to let her tell you about those when she comes up. She was educated at Texas Tech. Greg, did you see her at that meeting? Oh, the other one. Oh, sorry. But she also attended Angelo State University. She is currently with the Tom Green County Attorney's Office and has been with Fowley Law Firm and the Legal Aid Society in Lubbock. Anyway, she has some wonderful references, a couple of folks that I know, Judge Penny Roberts and Judge Ben Nolan. At this time, if we could welcome Tiffany Sheppard.
I use my hands a lot to talk, so I'm going to put this up here, because y'all see if I can get this up here. There. And I don't know how I'm going to follow up Judge Howard's dance moves up here, and then the story about the Texas Exes. I don't have any funny stories, but I'm going to try to tell y'all some information about a program that we're revamping at the county. Again, my name is Tiffany Sheppard. I work under Chris Taylor. He's the elected county attorney here in Tom Green County. I'm one of his newer assistants. Most people don't leave the office, but I've been there over 3 years, so by newer, I'm fairly seasoned in his office. I handle a lot of our JP stuff with the judges over here, and I handle a lot of the appellate stuff and any type of misdemeanor prosecution that comes in through our office. But anyways, I'm here to talk about what is formerly known as the DWI Drug Court Program. Is anybody familiar at all with that program? We've got people that I knew would be familiar with this program. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about the program and how it's been revamped here recently. The program is, we're one of the few counties in the state of Texas that is a pre-adjudication program. What that means is these defendants or suspects or clients, whatever you want to call them, they come into the courtroom, we screen them to see, is this person a good candidate for drug court? Drug court is what we used to call it, which it kind of came off with a negative connotation, so we've changed that a little bit. It's now called the Tom Green County Regional Specialty Court Program. We've expanded the program to meet more needs, and it wasn't that weren't being met under the old guidelines. Okay, so we screen these candidates and we see, okay, is this person a first-time offender? If they're a first-time offender, they're probably not a good candidate for this program. We're looking for people that maybe have had issues with drugs in the past. Maybe this is a DWI second for them. Maybe this is a second, controlled substance possession. Maybe they've got an issue with marijuana. Whatever it may be, they're not first-time offenders. What pre-adjudication means is once they're brought into the program, they're not convicted before they're brought into the program. When we go to the drug court seminars across the state of Texas, we find out that there's only a couple of counties across the state of Texas that are like us, that do pre-adjudication. In our eyes, it's a very difficult program. It's not like I'm sure most of y'all are probably familiar with regular probation. You've heard about, some of the rules of that. This isn't very similar, but much, much harder. So I know we get some critiques on, you're going to dismiss their case after they finish this program. It's a very difficult program. It's at least a year long. If they get in trouble while in their program, they may be extended in the program. So they can be extended for a longer amount of time where they're under supervision. So let me tell you some of the things that this program consists of. We have 3 phases, and each phase gradually gets a little bit easier for the participants. The first stage is going to be constant supervision. It's going to be as difficult as the whole program is going to be. It's going to be group counseling once a week. They're going to go to individual counseling. They're going to meet with their court officer, which previously used to be probation officer. They're going to come to court twice a month and meet with the judge. They're going to go to 30 NAs or AAs in 30 days, so one a day. They can't, stack up and say, I'm going to go to 6 today and then I don't have to go for the next 5 days. They can't do that. They have to be accountable, go every single day. After the first 30 days, they go to another 30 AAs or NAs over the next 60 days. And then it starts to ease up a little bit. But one of the reasons why, and I've talked to all the judges who do the drug courts, especially courts now, Judge Roberts, Judge Nolan, and Judge Floyd, our county judge, all three have their own program. They're all the same guidelines. We have a set of rules that they have to follow. That way it's a little bit more uniform for our participants. But each one of them has told me the reasons that they feel that this program is so successful are, one, that constant contact in the beginning. We don't let them mess up. They have to be under our thumb. We're making sure that they're going to their meetings. We're making sure that they're passing their UAs. We're making sure that everything is falling in line. A lot of times it's that time management that helps these offenders the most, because let's face it, maybe they had too much time on their hands, and so they're out there committing these type of crimes, or they're getting into trouble with alcohol or whatever it may be. So that time management portion of the first stage really helps this program become successful, because let me tell you, these people have never had to time manage like this. The second thing is the group settings. We usually have about 25 to 30 people in each court at any given time. And during that time, they get to meet all these people that are in the same path that they are. Because previously, they may have been hanging out with people who smoke marijuana, drink alcohol, take pills, whatever it may be. They've gotten out of that group of friends, and now they've found other people who are trying to be sober. And so they make new contacts, and they realize, I can still live my life and not be in an intoxicated state. And the third reason that we think that this program is so successful is because they have to see the judge pretty often. More often than any other defendant will see the judge in any criminal proceeding. They're not going to, most of the time they come in for arraignment, and they may come back for a setting, and then maybe a plea or a trial. This way, over the course of the year, they're seeing the judge twice a month. And that's a lot of times to see the judge and know, if I'm in trouble, he or she is going to call me out on it in front of this entire group of people. So that will usually keep you on the straight and narrow. So we have a pretty low recidivism rate. Most of the people who graduate from our program successfully usually don't reoffend. They've learned, that was a pretty difficult program. Most of them get their one-year chip. And that's a big deal for them because they've never seen a year sober, which is crazy to me, but not crazy in their world. So we had to revise our program recently. We were working with the probation department. We had a counselor and a probation officer out there who were helping us with the county's projects on this drug court program. Well, there was a lot of rules that we couldn't meet the needs of more constituents in this county, and so we decided, we're going to revise this. We're going to bring that probation officer and bring a counselor. We're going to bring them under the wing of the county, and we're going to make this a county program in its entirety. Some of the things that have helped us do that is now we're going to be able to reach out to not just Tom Green County, because before you had to live in Tom Green County in order to participate in this program. Now we're reaching out to the Concho Valley. So any contiguous county that's touching Tom Green, we're going to travel out there to check on you. Our probation officer is going to go check on you out there. The second thing is we're going to try to reach out to more offenses. Previously, it had to be, DWI a second, marijuana, possession of controlled substance. But what we're realizing as we do this program is there are a ton of people who may not be getting drug offenses, but have a severe drug problem. That being said, a lot of our thefts, people who are stealing so they can sell that stuff to go buy their drugs. Or we have, mental health cases, which we're going to hopefully be working with MHMR on trying to expand the program even further. By the way, let's give them, they're amazing. We work with them quite often, and it is great that hopefully we'll get to expand our program a little bit more. But you've also got mental health cases where these people maybe they're using drugs to self-medicate. Maybe they are not on their prescribed medications, and so they're drinking, or they're popping pills, or whatever it may be, just to feel somewhat normal. So we're trying to open up our program to those type of people. And the next thing it's going to do is we're hopefully going to have a larger amount of participants in each court. We're trying to expand it so that we can have up to 45 people at any given time in each court, which may sound like a lot of people, but there's definitely a need for this. Now, some of the perks of the revision, because some people may say, why on earth would the county take on 2 additional people, 2 more people we have to pay? What's this going to cost our taxpayers? Well, I've got good news. The cost of the program for each participant is around $1,200, $1,250. That participant, previously, when they paid their program fees, a lot of those fees were being diverted to the other programs that were involved with our drug court program. No longer is that the situation. Now, the program fees come back to the county to help self-fund the program. So, if we have 100 participants a year, which is very easily done, we're probably already close to that this year, the program will be completely self-funded at that time. So, we're not costing the taxpayers any additional funds, which is great for us fiscal conservatives. So, I like that aspect of myself, but the other thing is we're gonna save county money on the back end, post-adjudication. So if somebody gets convicted of a crime, say it's a DWI, they go on probation. Conviction, probation, 6 months down the road, they get revoked off of that probation. What that does for the county and the taxpayers is we've got additional court costs, we've got additional monies that weren't paid to the county or through whatever program that they were supposed to pay those fees. And then we've also got, possibility of more time in jail. We've got future, other offenses that they may be committing. We're saving the county a lot of money on that end. It adds up very quickly because you'd be surprised at how many people revoke off of probation. The nice thing about our special court program is it's all voluntary for these people. They come into it knowing what they're getting into. We go over the list of everything of what they're going to have to do, and anytime they mess up, they have a choice. Do you want to take this sanction, or do you want to get out of the program? They have to sign a stipulation of evidence before they enter into the program saying, on this day, yes, I committed this crime. So they know, if I get out of the program, I'm sunk. My ship is sunk. I've got a stipulation, the state has a stipulation. We may have a jury trial, but she's just going to admit that into the evidence, and the jury's going to see that and say, well, he admitted it. He's already guilty. So most of the time, they stay in the program and they fight through it, and sometimes they have to go get help. They have to go get residential help, whatever it may be, or they sit in jail. But the program is voluntary for them, and they have to make the decisions. They have control over their future. So that's another reason why I think the program is very successful. And I did bring with me today a graduation speech, which I thought would really show y'all. At the end of their program, they have to write a graduation speech. It's required so that the judge knows how they felt about the program. So this graduate just graduated on March 6th, so it's a very recent graduate. So I'm going to start reading his graduation speech. He put a quote at the beginning, but it's kind of cut off, so I can't tell where the quote is from. It says, "The wars which have been fought, the burnings and the chicanery that religious dispute had facilitated, made me sick. I honestly doubted whether, on balance, the religions of mankind had done any good. Judging from what I had seen in the world, the power of God in human affairs was negligible. The brotherhood of man a grim jest. If there was a devil, he seemed the boss universal, and he certainly had me." This is a very good summary of where I stood in life, which ultimately led me to being here today. I'm not going to stand here and tell you a story of me being cured of all my defects. Instead, I will tell you a story of a man that learned a new way to live and live happy. The last year has been a journey where I have met new people and learned new coping skills that have all been very beneficial in keeping me sober. I've learned that alcohol isn't what makes me sick, but is a symptom of my sickness. My sickness was self and all the resentments that I carried with me. Thanks to AA, the many men and friends that I have met there, and the drug court staff, I don't carry that with me anymore. I wake up with a prayer for guidance and look forward to a great day with a God that loves me and a family that's forgiving. I know that no amount of alcohol will make this day better. I don't have to stay sober for the rest of my life, I just have to stay sober for today. And I can do that thanks to God, this program, and AA. I'll go to sleep on a prayer this evening, and it will be a prayer of gratitude, one for grace and one for wisdom. I'm not angry about it. If anything, I'm happier today, because I don't have to fight battles in my head all day, only to come home and drown the flames with alcohol, all while convincing myself that I'm having fun. I pray that all of you can find your way out of yourself and see that there is a you that's blessed and happy, and start living for just today. Give thanks for all the little things. Thank you. So, if you can tell, these participants are very, very, very much affected by this program. It's a great program. We have a huge community support, and it's a program that it's very near and dear to my heart. So if anybody has any questions, I will try to take them at this time. Yes, sir.
Tiffany, is this the program, is it a Tom Green County blueprint, or where'd you get it from? And my second question is do you have any percentage on success rate?
I don't have any percentages because it was joined with other programs. That information was not made available to at least me. I may be lower on the totem pole when it comes to getting that information, but I will tell you that it is a state model. We have revised some of it on what works best for our county because we're not Austin and we're not Houston and we're not San Antonio, and some of the things that they do there don't work for us. We're a West Texas small community, and some things work better for our people here. So we've revised some of it, but it is a state model. There are conferences, like I said, every year that handle with what do we need to revise, what needs to happen. But we've had our program in place for well over 10 years. So it has had a very high success rate. While I've been doing the program for a little over 3 years, I have seen very, very few people that have graduated successfully from the program come back through on another charge. If that helps answer a little bit.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I just like to put a plug in for the Alcohol and Drug Council of the Contra Valley. They are trying to build their detox center, but when I talked to Eric the last time, they're short funds. So if you know of any grants or money out there, please let Eric know. He needs to finish that detox center.
Tiffany,
Yes, sir.
what about mental illness in a mental illness? Were you trying to expand the drug?
We are. We hope, we expanded our program because right now there are mental health courts and there are veteran courts, and we're trying to get separate courts for each one of those, but to do that we need funding, obviously. And the second thing is with the funding comes the rules of each person in this court has to be a vet. Each person in this court has to have a diagnosed mental illness. So without that funding, that's why we broadened our horizons a little bit with our program to try to include those people the best we could. But if we get enough interest from those two different groups, we're hoping to make separate courts for them. We just have to have the funds and the means to do it. At this point, that is something that is hopefully on the horizon. We hope so. But not as yet. It's not here yet. So, anybody else? Yes, sir.
Do you have any numbers at all about the cost versus the savings?
In what sense?
In the program, you said there was that it decreased the expenses on locking people up and et cetera and that.
I can tell you right now that the county, and I'm not sure on the exact numbers about how much the county is spending. Our jail is overpopulated at this point. We are sending a lot of our inmates to other counties, and we're having to pay for that.
35 to 40,000 a month.
That's what I thought the number was, but I didn't.
98,000 last week.
Oh,
They paid 98,000 last week. I think
Yeah.
it's like 35 to 40,000 a month is what they.
so if we can keep some of these people out of jail, we can hopefully cut down on that. Now, that's not going to solve the problem, obviously, but it could maybe make a dent, at least a little dent. But I will say the cost that that this taxpayers and everything, because here's the thing, a lot of these defendants probably aren't going to pay their court costs if they're going through regular probation. If they're revoked off of it, they don't care at that point. You're going to throw them in jail. So there we are again with they're back in jail. We're spending more money. We may have to send them off to another county. But if they're in this program, one of the requirements is you pay a monthly payment. We've broken down the payments to where you pay $300 up front and $100 a month for the next 9 months. It's very manageable. When it comes to some of the probation fees, it starts to stack up on them. So you may have an excess amount of money that has not been paid, and it's probably never going to get paid. So do I have numbers for that? No, I don't, because those numbers are not, they're separate from our department. But the court costs, I know alone, a lot of times, those are not getting paid. And that's costing a lot of people a lot of money. So, sorry I don't have better numbers for you.
Upwards around $400, $450 an attorney appointment.
It's $400.
All right, 400?
It's up to $750 for felonies.
Yeah,
felonies.
for misdemeanors, it's $400 an appointment per case, and then you cap
So
out at $1,000.
If you go to court, that's the cost to the county that we're paying, plus 60-something dollars a day to house them in jail.
Right.
So those costs add up real quick.
And if they end up going to a jury trial, then the attorney can then bill hourly, and that can,
They should
That
have
can get
to
pretty
be
high.
to cut out while they're in jail.
right.
Or
Well, yeah,
have
'cause
appendicitis while they're in jail.
they've got medical costs as well while they're also incarcerated. So if anything happens to them in jail or if they have any issues, then the county is gonna pay their medical costs.
And probably most importantly is recidivism you talked about, you know,
Yes.
if we can
Catch up
stop
before they go to you.
drug offenders who are already committing crimes to support their drug habit
Right.
and help them resolve that problem so that they don't continue to commit crimes, then we save a bucket load of money further down the road even, so.
We're trying to stop them from going to meet John Best at the district attorney's office.
We have a drug court, a felony drug court
Yes,
as well.
we do.
that we're proud of and
Yes,
it's real successful.
yes.
And
all
some,
Margaret.
some of those folks may be stealing $1,000 to $1,500 a day to supply their habit. So if they're quitting, or if they're getting,
Keep our
you
stuff.
know, it's not just the savings to the county budget.
Right.
There's a whole raft of savings that mushrooms into that.
And hopefully just a better community overall. Because if we've got people off of drugs and they're not stealing from our other community members, I feel like that's just a better environment for us and our families and our children that are growing up in our community. Because San Angelo is where I grew up, and I feel like it's still a great community. We've just got some issues that we need to try to hammer out. Anybody else have any questions? Sorry I don't have better numbers. I apologize for that. They don't give that to me.